What the hell are Spurs doing? It's about a week into July, and while every other top club are signing players, Spurs are stuck. New manager? Check. Ambition to win the Champions League and the Premier League? According to Daniel Levy, check. But new signings? Not one. And worse yet, we might not even have the room to make signings. Let's break down the entire mess and why it could blow up in our faces and why this summer might be remembered as one of the biggest turning points in Spurs history. Make sure to like and subscribe. Let's get right into it. So let's get right into the numbers. Tottenham's senior squad is bloated. In domestic competitions, you can somewhat get away with it, rotating cups, spread some minutes out in the league, but in UEFA competitions, it's a different story. UEFA mandates a limit of 25 players for Champions League registration. Of those 25, 8 must be homegrown, and of at least 4 must be club trained. Right now, Spurs have 1, and that is Brandon Austin. For the sake of this video, we're going to be selling players like Mbuemo, Mano Solomon, Alejo Valise, Brian Hill, Richarlison, even though Richarlison said he wants to remain at Spurs and give himself an opportunity to make the squad. We're still going to sell him for the sake of this video. And Ben Davies as well. Even though he signed a new contract, I still think that he's probably going to get sold either way. And of course, with Heung-min Son doing a Korean interview stating that he's probably going to be remaining at Spurs this season, I'm going to keep him in the squad. So assuming that these are the players that we have in the Premier League, our numbers there are okay. So just so you can understand how the UEFA club registration squad numbers work, ideally you want a maximum of 17 non-homegrown players. And then you'd also want a minimum of 8 homegrown players, but 4 must be club trained. If you have less than 4 club trained players, you must subtract a player from your overall squad for every non-club trained player you are missing. And then for the B squad is essentially any player born on or after January 1st, 2003 for the 2025-26 season. And you have been eligible to play for the club for at least 2 uninterrupted years since age 15. So that essentially is Mikey Moore. And uninterrupted means that you have not been loaned out. So let's go through a little bit of a scenario so you can understand it better. So this squad has 20 non-homegrown players. Maximum is 17. The squad has also 4 association trained players, which is maximum of 4. So this is players like James Maddison, Dom Solanke, Archie Gray, who are from other English clubs, but now they're on Spurs. So you can have maximum of those 4 types of players. And then the squad also has 3 club trained players, which of course you need a minimum of 4. So this squad, based off of the scenario I listed, can now only have a max squad size of 24 players, with 3 of them having to be club trained, which means 3 non-homegrown players are left out of the Champions League squad. So looking at Tottenham's squad numbers right now, just a rough estimate of what it looks like at this current moment, when you bring in a guy like Kota Takai, and then you have Brandon Austin as your only club trained player, and then you have the 4 association trained players as well, and then you have Mikey Moore or Jamie Donnelly on the B squad too, which does not count. Looking at this, we would have to end up leaving out a guy like Luka Vuskovic, assuming we sell all the other players I listed before. So, looking at this means that this squad can now only have a max squad size of 22 players, which leaves 0 room for any new signings to be included in the Champions League squad unless Spurs sign a homegrown player, i.e. a Kyle Walker-Peters or a Dennis Sirkin, or they sell more players from the non-homegrown list. Essentially a 1-in, 1-out situation. So, just to make that make sense, if we want to bring in new players and register them for the Champions League squad, right now Spurs are currently in a 1-in, 1-out situation. Even with selling players like Mbuemo, Richarlison, and Ben Davies, we are still tight for numbers. And currently with this model that I built up, we're leaving out Luka Vuskovic. So Spurs are in a dire situation when it comes to the UEFA squad numbers. So let's compare all of that to what Daniel Levy has told us, the fans. He said that Spurs want to win the league. They want to win the Champions League. At the European trophy last season, was just the beginning. But here we are, time and time again, watching everyone else make signings while we've still, well, I guess we're champions of Europe. I guess that's something. The messaging is just so disconnected. The ambition sounds good, of course, but ambition without execution is just noise. And that noise is getting louder as every day passes without a major move. So let's talk about where we actually need reinforcement. The wings, specifically the right wing. When you look at a guy like Dan Kulusevski, will Thomas Frank play him on the right, or will he have him as the backup cam or competition for Madison? We don't know. We'll see. Then you have Brennan Johnson. Obviously, he's banging in the goals, but he needs proper competition, and we need more of a consistent threat overall, not just back post happens. Even though I love them, I do. And of course, you have someone on the left side killing it. So you need someone of Son's quality, or at least a little bit less, on the right side to add proper quality to the squad. And of course, our targets, well, they're evaporating. Eze looks like he's going to Arsenal. Mbuemo, he's been linked to United all summer. Madueke also looks like he's going to Arsenal. And Semenyo, he just re-signed with Bournemouth. Which this brings us to Mohammed Kudus, the one realistic top target that is still within reach. And breaking news as this video is being recorded, Kudus has prioritized a move to Tottenham. He wants it. But the real question is, do we want it badly enough to make it happen? West Ham reportedly wants £65 million for Mohammed Kudus. Spurs have just recently submitted a £50 million bid for Kudus that has just been rejected by West Ham earlier this morning. Spurs are off by about 15 to 10 million pounds for Kudus. And of course, Spurs are lowballing again, like we did with other players in the past. And of course, we know how all of those ended. Chelsea have also been lurking, and Chelsea have been rumored to be making a higher bid than Spurs. So will Spurs be passive again? Will Daniel Levy be passive again? Or will we actually put our money where our mouth is and make the deal happen and get this transfer through the door? Okay, so let's take a second and look at what Kudus brings. This guy is a proper baller. Aggressive, technical, strong in duels, and most importantly for us, his best production came when he plays off the right. He's dynamic on the ball, he presses hard, and he's got the unpredictability which we've lacked for years. He creates space, he beats players 1v1, he's lethal cutting inside onto his left foot, and when he starts wide right, he gets room to operate and pull defenders around. He's not just a name on a wish list, he's a tactical upgrade for Thomas Frank's system. Okay, but here's the thing though. Put yourself in Thomas Frank's shoes. You've just taken over Spurs. You want time to assess the squad. Fair. But that comes at a cost. Every day we wait, another target signs elsewhere. Another rival gets stronger. And this squad isn't as good as it looks on paper, especially when it comes to European squad limitations. There is no perfect timing. You either act quickly and shape the squad your way, or you get shaped by everyone else's moves. Frank is a smart manager, but he needs backing. And right now, that's what's missing. So here's the unfiltered raw truth. Tottenham, you can't have it both ways. You can't claim you want to compete on all fronts and hesitate when it's time to spend. If Kudus is your guy, buy him. If the squad's too full, then sell someone. But sitting still in this window is the worst option of all. If Spurs mess this up, it won't just be about Kudus. It'll be about the club that refuses to learn from its prior mistakes. A club that talks big, but falls short when it matters most. Spurs need to make this move now, because the margin for error in the Premier League is razor thin. And our window to act is closing very, very fast. But with that all being said, make sure to let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. What do you guys think? Should Spurs go all in for Kudus? Should we sell players now, or should we give Thomas Frank some time to assess the players in the squad? I'm pretty frustrated with the lack of movement, and Kudus is one of our last options as we're running out of potential winger signings for the Premier League. Make sure to like and subscribe for more content, guys. And Tottenham Hotspur, now is not the time to be messing around. Daniel Levy, now is not the time to be complacent. It's time to put your money where your mouth is and make the deal happen.